This trash and recycling center will keep your property tidy and organized. It is made of solid tongue and groove wood in the cypress family with decay resistance similar to cedar. It is designed for year-round outdoor use for residential applications. I will show you how to assemble it step by step. The assembly instructions are very simple and straightforward. You should be able to assemble the whole thing together in about half an hour. First, let's go over the list of components. The back panel, it is the largest component. Then we have left and right side panels. Please notice they are curved on the top and slightly sloped towards the front. Also notice the holes on the panels. They will go next to the back panel and will have a bolt installed through them on which the lid will pivot. The lid is curved and will be installed slightly sloping towards the front. It will rest directly on top of the side panels matching curves. The back part of the lid also has holes through which bolts will be installed to allow the lid to pivot. Next, we have the left and right side doors. As you can see, the hinges are already installed on them. The loose side of the hinges will later be attached to the side panels through the pre-drilled pilot holes. Horizontal plank, which will be installed on the top between the side panels. This will stiffen the panels and tie the structure together. Then there are the hardware components, including metal brace which will be installed on the bottom between the side panels. It will stiffen the panels and tie the structure together. Wrap around corner braces to reinforce the front components. Corner braces to reinforce the back components. Spring-loaded lid supports. These will help keep the lid up independently and will prevent the lid from slamming onto fingers. Spring-loaded elbow catch, which will keep the lid closed. Locking handles, which will keep the doors closed. And various nuts, bolts and screws, all separated in bags and labeled accordingly. We are now ready to assemble. Please notice the details of the tongue and groove boards in the panels. Make sure that all the components are installed with the grooves on the outside, as these grooves are meant to enhance the overall look of the product. The main components are connected with insert nuts and bolts. That is to say, the metal nut is strategically embedded in 10 places into which a bolt will be screwed to make the connection with the corresponding components. All adjacent components have pre-drilled holes that correspond with the insert nuts. This technology allows for a much stronger metal-to-metal connection and will maintain the integrity of the structure if it ever needs to be disassembled and reassembled again. The trash and recycling center can be assembled by one person, but it will be better if a helper is available to hold components in place while they're being connected. Step 1. Connect the left side panel to the back panel through 3 pre-drilled holes with 3 A-bolts into the insert nuts which are embedded in the back panel. Please notice that the side of the panels are curved on the top and slightly sloped towards the front. Step 2. Repeat step 1 on the opposite side with the right side panel. Please notice the 1-inch gap on the top. The purpose of this gap will be made clear when we install the lid. Step 3. Connect the plank on top of the left side panel through 2 pre-drilled holes with 2 A-bolts into the insert nuts embedded in the plank. Step 4. Repeat step 3 on the opposite side with the right side panel. Step 5. Attach metal brace to the bottom of the left side panel through 2 holes with 2 V-screws into the pilot holes in the left side panel. Step 6. Repeat step 5 on the opposite side with the right side panel. Step 7. Install wraparound corner brace between left side panel and horizontal plank. Fit the brace tightly in place and hold firmly. Attach it by screwing through 8 holes with 8 V-screws. Put 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 4 here. Optionally, you can put 2 more screws here, but it is not really necessary. In fact, it might interfere with the function of the doors. This corner brace wraps around the bottom and the inner side of the horizontal plank and attaches to the side panel in 2 locations, allowing for maximum bracing strength. Step 8. Repeat step 7 on the opposite side with the right side panel. Step 9. Install corner brace between the left panel and back panel through 4 holes with 4 V-screws. Fit the brace tightly in place and hold firmly when you are screwing it in. Step 10. Repeat step 9 on the opposite side with the right side panel. Step 11. screw in 2 wooden door handles through the pre-drilled holes in the doors with 4 D-screws. Step 12. Attach the lid to the side panel through pre-drilled holes at the back of the lid frame and also through the pre-drilled holes at the back top of the side panels with 2 E-bolts. You can now see the purpose of the gap as described in step 2 is to allow the access for installation of the 2 E-bolts. Please do not over-tighten the 2 E-bolts as they need to remain relatively loose, and the purpose of these 2 E-bolts is to merely hold the lid in place and to allow it to pivot. Step 13. Install the left door through 2 attached hinges with 6 C-screws into the 6 pilot holes on the left side of the panel. Step 14. Repeat step 13 on the opposite side with the right side panel. Step 15. Installing the elbow catch requires some measuring as there are no pilot holes to guide you. The final position of the elbow catch will be as this. Close the lid into the down position. On the lid's underside, at the front, find the approximate center and mark it. Place the elbow catch tightly against the lid and also against the horizontal plank and mark the 2 holes for screws. Then, open the lid and screw in the elbow catch. The second component of the elbow catch is the strike component, which provides the lip necessary for the elbow catch to grasp onto. With the elbow catch attached on the lid, close the lid and find the approximate place on the horizontal plank to install the strike component. At this point, the strike component should hang down from the main component's catch. Install the strike component to the horizontal plank with screws. Please note that some adjustment in the positioning may be required to achieve the desired performance. Step 16. Installing the lid supports also requires some measuring as there are no pilot holes to guide you. The lid supports are installed onto the frame of the back panel and the reinforced plank on the underside of the lid. Lift the lid and hold in open position at approximately 70 degrees. Hold the lid support approximately 7 inches from the left side panel and aim it vertically to locate approximately ½ inch from each edge. Do not install too close to the edge. The upper mounting bracket is to be installed first. Locate the proper position and mark it. Hold the upper mounting bracket firmly against the plank and lift the lid support up. Attach the upper mounting bracket with 2 H screws. Lower the lid support down and attach the lower mounting bracket with 2 H screws. Repeat the process on the opposite side with the second lid support approximately 7 inches from the right side panel. Now your lid support becomes spring-loaded and it is under upward pressure. You will notice that it will not close all the way down and will remain open approximately 5 degrees or about 3 inches. Do not be alarmed. This is what it was designed to do while enabling the lid support to be held up independently in the opposition. The lid will actually be kept closed by the elbow catch which we installed earlier. Step 17. An adjustment of the elbow catch will likely be required. Now the lid support is spring-loaded and is under upward pressure, the elbow catch might not be able to hold it down. Do not be alarmed as this is common. Open the lid and loosen the elbow catch. Reposition the elbow catch inward in the direction of the back panel and retighten the screws. This will enable the elbow catch a tighter grasp. Repeat this procedure as required. In some cases, the screw might need to be unscrewed completely and re-screwed back 1/8 to 1/4 inch inward in the direction of the back panel. Step 18. The locking handles are installed in 2 locations. First location will keep the 2 doors locked to each other. The second location locks the left door to the horizontal plank and therefore also to the rest of the trash and recycling center. They consist of 2 components including the handle and the strike. First screw in the handle with 4 G screws into the pilot holes on the frame in the panel. Please note that some adjustment in the positioning may be required to achieve the desired performance. Step 19. The second locking handle is to be installed onto the upper frame member of the left door panel close to where the two doors meet in the middle. Screw in the handle with 4 G-screws into the pilot holes of the frame. Screw in the strike with 2 G-screws into the pilot holes on the horizontal plane above the door. Please note that some adjustment in the positioning may be required to achieve the desired performance. And this is our trash and recycling center.